Welcome to the Modern CPA Success Show, where we're 100% focused on helping accounting firms achieve success. If you're an accounting firm owner who wants to learn how to grow your firm by providing virtual CFO services, then this podcast is for you.
Hello, podcast listeners. I am here today by myself, so this is my first time recording a solo podcast, so we'll have to see how this works out and if it ever makes it to air. So hopefully it does, and hopefully we're able to deliver some quick content here for all of our listeners. Since 2021 is in the rearview mirror now, we thought it would be a really good idea to kind of talk about some of our past podcasts and talk about which ones have been the most popular. So we wanted to just go through real quick and talk about our top 10 podcasts. So I'm not going to do this in the traditional sense where I do a countdown and try to be creative or anything. I'm just going to kind of talk about the podcasts that really had the most downloads during 2021 and why I think that is. And so I took a look at this list, and it's an interesting list to me because there are some definite trends on what our listeners are looking for. So this obviously, as a CPA firm, we're big into numbers, we're big into data, and we do look at this data to try to determine what our future topics are going to be and how to make sure that our podcasts are hitting the audience and really where they want to be in areas that they're interested in. So the interesting thing is looking at this top 10 list, the top 5 downloads, so they all had, over 250 downloads, which is a great number for us, is all podcasts that had guests involved. So obviously there's a couple of reasons behind that. I think one of the reasons is the guests add an extra context to the show. There's always a different voice in here, and the people bring in their different opinions, and they also bring in their fans as well. So people that are fans of Summit CPA will download those podcasts, but also the ones that are like, oh, I love that guy, or I love that girl, and they'll download those podcasts as well. So the first 5 here that all have guests. So the first one is episode number 33, and this one doesn't surprise me that it is our most listened to podcast. Everybody that knows accounting probably follows Rick Telberg on Twitter or Instagram or all over the internet. He's kind of a CPA celebrity, if there is such a thing. And so it didn't surprise me that he was our top listened to podcast. I know I started following him on Twitter a long time ago, and even before I was moved to industry. So that's well over 10 years ago. So I think that didn't surprise me that is our most listened to podcast, because where Rick goes, the audiences go as well. So that's the number one podcast that we had for 2021. The next one was actually something a promotion of our playbook. So we've talked about the playbook that we sell that kind of helps people that are thinking about going down this virtual CFO path. Jody and Adam have been very deliberate about offering information on how we do that, and that's a service that we provide. And so the second most listened to podcast was Jacob Oberlander, when he came on talking about his experience with the playbook and how it helped his business and kind of how it's working for him. So that was our second most listened to podcast. And then number 3 was the How to Scale Your Business with David Jennings, the first part of that one. So that was a 2-part podcast. The second part was listened to as well quite a bit, was not in the top 10, but right outside the top 10. So again, another big player within the accounting industry that brings a lot of knowledge to people. And I know that anybody that is interested in the CFO world is obviously interested in growing. So that's a really good topic that I'm not surprised that many people listen to. The next one is David Bergstein talking about the age of automation. I think that one is a combination of the personality we brought in, but also a combination of the topic. Obviously, with the pandemic and with trying to deal with the Great Resignation, and a lot of people are thinking about automation, how to do things faster and do things with less reliance on people. So bringing Dave Bergstein in here helped us talk about that topic, and that was our 4th most listened to podcast. And then the last one is actually one of our clients. So excited to have one of our clients pop into the top 5 here, and that is Tiffany Ferris from Palantir. So Tiffany came in, and that was one that I try not to listen to our podcast, but Tiffany was so good, and I really enjoyed talking to her that is one I listened to, because I was really enjoying that conversation conversation with Tiffany, and the ideas she brings to companies and to businesses is remarkable. And I think that anybody that listened to her talk had a lot of ideas on how to run their business, but not only from us, but probably more from her in terms of some really good ideas for thought leadership there. So really enjoyed that conversation with Tiffany and had a great time talking with her. So that was our top 5, and like I said, all of those podcasts had over 250 downloads, which is great. It's a really good number for us to hit over 250, and our top 10 actually, all of them are over 250, which is a great number.
Are you interested in offering virtual CFO services at your firm or scaling your existing service offerings? The Virtual CFO Playbook: How to Land $60,000 a Year Clients and Provide a Killer Client Experience is an online series of modules that will equip you with essential tools for creating and delivering scalable VCFO services. These approaches have helped Summit CPA grow from $500,000 to upwards of $5 million in revenue over the past decade. If you're ready to grow your firm, visit summitcpa.net/VCFO Playbook to enroll now.
The second 5, 4 of them had one thing in common, and that was marketing. So that's a topic we will definitely keep hitting on more, and marketing and sales. And again, this one doesn't surprise me as well, because I know a lot of accountants know how to deliver. They have great ideas on how to deliver, and they have a lot of good products out there. But the question is, okay, how do we do the marketing, and how does the marketing work, and how can we better make sure people can find us? So that was 4 out of the second 5. So the first one was finding your niche and becoming a thought leader. So that's number 6. And this is something that we are very passionate about at Summit. So it doesn't surprise me this one was towards the top of our list. This is something that we feel very strongly about, and we think it's something that is key to being successful if you're in this CPA space where you're selling CFO work, because all of our clients that come to us because they know that we know their industry. And so that really is being a big key to our marketing scheme, and a big thing behind how we market the Summit CPA. The next one is actually outside of the marketing realm, but it is the tax lessons learned with Dave Danick. So Dave is an internal employee here at Summit CPA, and I think every time he comes onto the podcast, we get a lot of listeners and a lot of downloads. Dave is an awesome tax guy, and I've don't want to talk down about any of the tax people I've worked with in the past, but Dave is one of the most charismatic tax people I've ever worked with, and really does a nice job explaining topics in a way that everybody can understand. So it doesn't surprise me that tax lessons with Dave Danick was number 7 here. And then number 8 and 9 are 2 podcasts that aired close to each other, but one was exploring new marketing channels to reach more leads, and the other was exploring video marketing strategies to grow your business. So 2 very specific marketing related podcasts, and that one is both of those podcasts are had Kelly involved with them, and obviously she's our head of marketing, and I think Kelly really does a nice job bringing marketing to the accounting world. So anytime you have a chance to listen to her, people are going to go back and do that. So those are 2 podcasts that if you haven't listened to yet and you're interested in this marketing topic, I would go back and re-download those and listen to them. And again, the first one, the new marketing channels, is episode 50. So again, that's just talking about different ways to reach more leads. And then the other one is the video marketing, which is number 35. So those are the 2 podcasts that I would definitely recommend listening to if you are interested in marketing. And then the last one, I did say that there were 4 marketing ones. There were actually 3 marketing ones, but the last one is another guest one. So that was Octavia Connor, and she was very, very dynamic and very fun to talk to, and I would love for her to join us here at Summit, but I know she's doing great with Say Yes to Profits. But she did a really good job explaining again how the course worked for her, and that podcast had over 250 listeners as well. So or downloads. I know downloads doesn't always equal listening. I'm a podcast downloader myself. There's plenty of podcasts that I download, but I don't get all the way through. But that's the metric we have, and that's the number we listen for. So I guess the moral of the story here is to bring more marketing podcasts to the station, as well as bringing on the guests, both internal and external. So we want to make sure we're going to go down this path in 2022 and see if we're providing the services for you. Just want to make sure everybody knows that they can reach out to us if they have any topics or guests for us, because obviously we are looking for guests. So again, those are our top 10 podcasts for 2021. And I hope you enjoyed this short episode, but I wanted to make sure we were able to let everybody know which ones are leading the charge and how it's driving this podcast going forward. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy this podcast? Visit our website at summitcpa.net to get more tips and strategies for achieving modern CPA firm success. We're here to be a resource in this ever-changing industry.